10 seconds. Is that mine?
I heard somebody's device chime 4 o'clock, so welcome. I will call the Richland County Affordable Housing Ad Hoc Committee to order. Madam Clerk, if you will take the attendance.
Teratio,
Here.
Weaver,
Here.
Barron, Aline,
Here.
Aline,
Here.
Mackey. We have a quorum.
Thank you. That will bring us to item of minutes, 2A, our September 16th, 2025 meeting can be found on pages 5 through 8. Is there a motion regarding the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Seconded. Any comments? All right, hearing none, we'll take the vote to approve the minutes.
Teratio,
Yes?
Weaver,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey.
Right.
Motion approved.
Thank you. That will bring us to item 3, the adoption of the agenda.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would like to make a notation. Councilwoman Barron has requested to change her name to Councilwoman Cooper. So moving forward, we'll be calling her Councilwoman Cooper.
Great.
Thank you.
I know that some folks have been practicing, so hopefully it will be a smooth transition.
Madam Chair, do we need to take a vote on that, or is that,
It's done.
it's done?
Okay.
Okay, just want to make sure. It's legal here.
Congratulations.
We've already taken care of that vote, Councilman Weaver.
Great.
Thank you for the clarification.
Congratulations to Councilwoman Cooper.
Thank you.
Great. So so we moved and seconded regarding the agenda. We still need to take the vote on the agenda.
I don't have a motion for the agenda, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Is there a motion regarding the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. I didn't ask before, but any adjustments to the agenda recommended?
No requested changes.
Thank you. We'll take the vote to adopt the agenda as printed.
Teratio,
Yes?
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Today, for item 4, we have 2 items for discussion and action that can be found on pages 9 and 10 of our agenda packet today. 4A is the down payment assistance program. So if you'll look at page 9, you'll see a summary of the instructions from the September meeting, as well as a few bullet points that help to guide us toward how to, what we were looking for was guidance on the amount for down payment assistance. And so these 3 bullet points give us just that, some guidance for our down payment assistance amount. So it looks at the county median home value. So currently we have a $275,000 median home value. And this says 50% down payment, but I believe what we really mean is 50% of the down payment and closing cost match up to 3% of purchase price, which if for that $275,000 home would be an $8,250 maximum value. And of course, these would be only applicable to dwellings in Richland County. You can see some of the reasoning below about tying the down payment assistance amount to this metric. Does anybody have any questions or comments about that particular part of the briefing document?
Madam Chair.
Yes. Ms. Cooper.
Thank you. So I guess my question would be, you made the statement up to the $8,000 this may be a premature question, but is there any guidance on how we would determine the up to amount?
Ms. Cooper, I'll look to staff, but I think it's just tied to, so if the purchase price for the home was $250,000, then it would just be 3%, up to 3% of that purchase price. And I guess we could talk, I guess I'll look to Mr. Jensen if there are any cases where that amount would be lower than the 3%.
Thank you. May I be recognized?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. So very briefly, if you use a simple floating metric of 3%, then as you said, it would be just 3% of whatever that home purchase price is. You know, and typically with a 97% loan to value ratio, HUD type loan, or, you know, then that's their standard, 3%. And then usually closing costs are about double what your down payment is when you're in that ratio. So that's where the 6% comes from.
And so I would guess that if someone were to qualify for this program, but say the purchase price for the home were $285,000 or something, then the maximum is still just the maximum of the $8,250, and then they would make up the.
If you so constructed it, yes, that would be correct. Or you could have a hard cap and just say the median home value, that's your hard cap. If you're buying a house more expensive than that, then this probably isn't the program for you.
Okay.
Again, it just depends on what your objectives are, what you're trying to achieve.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I just want to follow up if I may.
Yes, Ms. Cooper.
So I would, you know, I like the idea of using the floating matrix and actually capping the price. It's because I think that we will start to get into the place where, or I'll say for me, I'd like for us to assist those who need assistance. And I would not want individuals who have been blessed with more and could afford to pay their own down payment or closing costs, then squeeze out some individuals who this could be their one chance that they could get their dream home. So I do like the idea of keeping it at the medium, and as well as being very specific with our floating, the floating percent. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. And I just did a quick calculation. I'm no ACA Thomas, but the $2 million divided by 8,250 is 242. So that's a good number of people that could be helped with the down payment on their home. So that's meaningful to me. Any further questions or comments on this one? Yes, Ms. Mackey.
Thank you. I will say for the median home value, I would like somehow to put parameters in here that allows us to revisit this amount. To me, based upon what I've seen, you know, being built in Northeast Richland County, I'm not really sure what you buy.
Right.
And so it concerns me that this may not be able to reach enough people that we would want. And so I guess that would be a thought that I have too of, I understand the medium home value, but I guess I would like to know, is that spread out through our county? Where are you buying that in our county? And so I guess if I would say, if there's a way to make sure we are evaluating this, you know, if we see 6 months from now that we're really not getting
Money out the.
then is there a trigger that has us to go back and look at, is one of these things the issue?
My hope is that this committee will continue to meet and that we'll get updates on how the program is going and if there needs to be adjustments hopefully we're empowered to do so. I will ask though, ACA Jensen, I think that when you and I spoke about the median home value, that gets calculated every year, is that right? By the state, I'm sorry, can you tell me can you tell us what body determines that number and how often it's determined?
Sure. I believe there is but the state calculates that. I mean, there are multiple agencies that will calculate this, so we just need to pick one and decide who we want to use. But yes, there are accepted, standardized, or accepted organizations who calculate this, that lenders and so forth use in their
Right.
work.
And to follow up on Ms. Mackey's question, if I may, do we have any sort of a heat map? I don't know another word to call it, of where available housing is and kind of where the price points are for those? Like, I can totally appreciate Ms. Mackey's question about where these $275,000 homes are or less. You know, are they going to be available, you know, in District 5, in District 3, in District 7, you know, all of our districts? So that's something that I would be curious about.
And I would say, I'm not even, district specific, I
Sure.
guess, but is it only in our rural parts? Can you live in urban Richland County for I don't know. So I guess I would want to make sure that it doesn't limit folks to just rural Richland County per se.
Thank you. Mr. Weaver, did you have a question?
Yeah, I think what we're saying is, we don't want to fund $1 million house. I get that. But I think we can give a little flexibility here to say, if you want to buy a $325,000 house, the county will help with the down payment up to $275,000. They can pay the additional. That way we're building flexibility into the system,
But they're not disqualified for.
Correct. They're
I
not
would be okay with
disqualified.
that, yes.
And maybe we cap it out at, I don't know, $500,000,
Yeah.
which should certainly give them options. I can tell you there's $275,000 houses out there.
In Northeast?
Probably. See me after the meeting.
I will,
I've got-
okay.
It might be a little fixer-upper, but.
Okay.
Is there a recommendation for a percentage of variation from the median home value that would be acceptable?
I mean, I don't say it had to be a percentage. I was okay with what Councilman Weaver said, and I don't know if that was already factored into this, what he said, and I just didn't understand that. But I guess my ultimate thing was, I don't want someone to be cut off if they don't find a house at 275 or less. And what he's saying is, if someone sees a house for 375, they're not disqualified from the program. We just would only give a down payment up to a certain value. And I'm okay with that. I want to be inclusive of as many people as possible.
I think that as I'm hearing this, $100,000 variation is a lot for me. But I also don't want someone who finds a home for $275,100 to not be able to access the program. Yeah. So hearing that, how can we guide, how can we best give guidance? Because I would like to be able to give some concrete guidance to staff about how to move forward with this program. And maybe that's a motion that looks like approving the amount of the down payment price tied to the median home value. And does anybody have I'll look to the body for a motion before I make one. Okay. So I move to approve the parameters for the down payment assistance program, down payment amount to be up to 3% of purchase price for a home in Richland County, tied to the median home value, for a home whose purchase price does not exceed 20% more than the median home value? Thank you, Mr. Real Estate. That was a little bit of a rambling motion, but I wanted to get us kicked off with something.
Well, to keep the discussion going, I'll second your motion.
Okay.
So 20%, to clarify, is about 50,000, give or take. So we're saying a 325 house. I think that's more than doable.
Further discussion regarding that motion.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I just want to trigger, like I said, if reports come to us, I want to trigger that allows us to review. And if things change, inflation, whatever, and we see it's not working,
Okay, I'm
that we're
seeing
flexible.
Mr. Administrator Brown. Would you like to be recognized, Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Okay, thank
When
you.
when you're finished, well, I don't want to interrupt what you were doing. So I'll follow what you're doing
Okay.
by putting in a trigger. So I heard 20%, up to 20% exceeding the median home value.
Right.
So I know that could change, and as a result, then we're not stuck on a specific number. And my understanding is that's your intent. You're not getting stuck on a specific number, but you want something to trigger to allow you to measure the program.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm fine with that. And after you get done with your setting the pricing, if you will, before we're actually done with this item, I would like to talk about some more parameters to be thinking about going forward. But I knew we wanted to kind of deal with price today or money today.
Yes, I definitely wanted to move forward with a dollar amount in mind so that we can create the program that we want to create. Yes. And so do we need a friendly amendment to that motion to ask for a assessment of the program at 6 months or something? Or can we just ask staff to do that? Or is it, yes?
We don't, the staff, we're hearing you. We
Okay.
can put that down now. We don't need you to make an additional motion.
Okay.
Or to add to the motion that you have to come back in 6 months.
Okay, great, thank you. Anything further from the body? And I'll look for Ms. Cooper, okay. And I also want to recognize Ms. Newton is on the line. Thank you for being here. Okay, I believe we're ready to take a vote.
Teratio,
Yes?
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Lean,
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. For that item regarding down payment assistance program, does staff need further guidance on how to come back with the fullness of the program, I guess? Like, or can you take that and go out to decide who would administer such a program?
So let me jump in there.
Okay.
Basically, Jess. So we don't need specific additional direction, but what we want you to know is that there are other program parameters that we would want to communicate to you. So ideally, what we would do is we provide you, probably as a next step, several programming questions with potential parameters around them, allow you to look at those and see if that fits what you're looking at. And then from there, we can talk about, who's running the program, right? That's kind of one of the program parameters, as a matter of fact, who's going to do that. So those are some of the questions that we don't want to get you bogged down on today because we want to get you to set the price, but that will give you some of the criteria for you to use for next steps. So next steps, programming questions, the committee gets those, we can send you those before the next meeting so that we can come to you with that additional information. So, Mr. Jensen, what else am I missing, sir?
Nothing.
Okay.
You got it.
Perfect. Okay, my iPad went to sleep. Okay, so that will bring us to, so thank you all for that vote. That will bring us to 4B. the other agenda item around increasing housing supply. So this is where there's probably any number of creative opportunities across the nation. This has been an issue that a lot of people have tried to deal with. So I think what we're looking for this item is just some basic kind of this, not that, how fast, how slow kind of things. ACA Jensen, do you want to kind of kick this off? And I even have a brochure here where someone got something in the mail about some, adaptive reuse. So, yeah, do you want to kick off that?
If I may, just very briefly, in previous meetings, the committee talked about the two different pots or two different fields. One would be rehabbing existing units within neighborhoods, a revitalization type effort, and another would be actually constructing brand new units. I'm not going to steal any thunder, but later during council meeting, during the administrator's report, Mr. Brown's going to talk a little bit about something that has come to our attention that may check a lot of these boxes. But so just as a staff thing, that is what I've heard from this body so far. So maybe that's kind of what you want to start talking about.
And you're more than welcome to, Madam Chair, to discuss that here. There may be members of the council who are not here, but those that will be at full committee or full council meeting. And so it's not a secret. It's something that we can definitely share. So Mr. Jensen, if you wanted to just kind of brief them on that, and I can cover it more fully in council, but please, by all means.
Okay, thank you. So internal county staff, grants department, community planning and development, myself, we have been meeting with the housing authority, now called Columbia Housing. They have an opportunity with their new leadership to both construct new units and also to rehab existing units and possibly to demolish some existing units. So really they're revisiting their entire portfolio and they're trying to decide what should we keep, what should we rehab, and what should we move on maybe back into the private sector, into the market. And so that is what we're going to talk about tonight, and Mr. Brown will talk about, but this really could check a lot of boxes because a lot of their homes that they have are within neighborhoods that we're concerned about. They're neighborhoods where we have existing enforcement actions, and they're neighborhoods where our constituents have reached out to you and have said, we need something to be done. So this could be a great opportunity, as Mr. Brown will discuss later, to again, check some of those boxes and to make some meaningful change in our neighborhoods.
Just one question. When you say actions, what does that mean?
Typically, that means our staff, our officers have come out, they've investigated the properties, they've actually written letters and said, your property's in violation or your property appears to be lacking X, Y, Z, and we typically give them a time frame to bring the property into compliance.
Code enforcement.
Code enforcement, yes, but not just simply showing up, but we're talking documented in our system. We've asked them to take action.
And I feel like I can anticipate a question about, you said this is Columbia Housing, so all of these units are in incorporated Columbia?
No, ma'am. They're in unincorporated. The ones that we're going to be talking about today will be in unincorporated Richland County.
Okay, thank you. Anything further from the body? So I think this is an exciting thing at full council. And if this body is complete with this discussion at this point, we could move to item 5.
Motion to
Yes.
adjourn?
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay. Mr. Weaver has a question.
So just to be clear, so what we're saying is on the increased housing supply issue, we're saying wait for the report from Columbia Housing for full council? Is that what we're saying here? Which I'm fine with. I just want to make sure that's clear.
If I may, Madam.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so very briefly, the Columbia Housing is proposing the construction of new units, and they're also proposing demolition of some units, and they're also proposing rehabilitation of some units, and the county could participate in all three. And that's what the administrator he'll give a more detailed explanation of what that could involve.
Okay, well, I'm definitely in favor of that till we hear the full report, so.
Right. And from where I sit, getting people in housing quickly, decent housing quickly, affordable, housing that's affordable to them, all those are good things. So anything further, or I can recognize Ms. Mackey?
Motion to adjourn.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. I will take the vote. Oh, we'll take the vote. I'll speak to you after. Yeah.
Teratio,
Yes?
Weaver,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Aline,
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thanks, everybody.